Alright, so the government of anArch is a complicated topic, and in this video I just want to put some of my thoughts out there on it. And some literal interpretation is the government of some construction, whether the etymology indicates in the past it meant of construction, and the reference for the government of anArch in this instance, the construction of what? So the government for the construction of a house, the construction of a community, maybe it's the construction of a tree, or the construction of, a cat, or maybe a man like me. Is that construction just shaped like, When I talk about the government of construction, there's all sorts of governments that reference construction. And whether it's, some illegal construction or some legal construction, it could also reference governance or understanding of the self. So an understanding of the construction of a person or the construction of myself. The government of, if it makes any sense. Now, the reference to anArch is the construction of the planet. The geology, oceans, atmosphere. There's all sorts of construction around us that's natural, and considered as part of the early research that I'm doing about the topic. So the construction of the planet, and there's all sorts of stuff, and when referencing it, the complexity for each of the items and the age of, or the amount of time it's taken to evolve. For example, a tree, billions of years, from something so small once in the past, and now look what they've become. And the government of construction is a very, very interesting topic, because it's the interplay is more complicated than I'm going to describe in this particular segment. And what I'm doing is giving some ideas on how to consider some of the methods that I'm doing to assemble what's presented online. And of course, it's to be amended, so everything I say is not right. It's not written in stone, or if it makes any sense, it's designed to be discussed. So I have a perspective of some construction, and I have a perspective of a tree. I have a perspective of other people, which is a larger type of construction, or collections of plants, animals, and insects, and in any sort of specific area. So starting basic with the topic is really where I started. Now, one of the things I should introduce here are the tools, and you guys can read about those online. And if you notice, there's a light right there. I got a light at some perspective to myself. It's an angle, and over there is a shadow. And it's also at some perspective to myself. So the type of governance, the construction of, if it makes any sense, a compass. Am I self-guiding? Do I make my own decisions? Am I a free man? Or am I governed by something else? Or am I governed by other things? So I don't want to elaborate too heavily, I think, on some of the topics, but I want to keep it basic to almost wording and the different topics of understanding what the government of specific forms of construction are, and the importance of trying to convey that as part of a belief. And when trying to understand it, I've already indicated that the oldest living life form on planet Earth is her environments, and as far as understood for biology, not necessarily rocks or crystals and other things like that. There's the government of construction. So we'll just leave it at that. We'll keep it basic. I don't want to get too in depth, and I'll talk about the next one also, which is the government of anArch.